Good morning, students. Today we are going to see about the Central Islamic lands. Chapter number 4. Can you tell me what are the major religions of the world today? Yes, we have Christianity, Islam, Hinduism, Buddhism, Sikhism, Judaism, Zoroastrianism. So that we have so many religions. And in this chapter, we are going to see about the rise of emergence of Islam, how the Islamic community has its roots in a more unified past, which unfolded roughly 1,400 years ago in the Arabian Peninsula. Now, the core area of the Islamic civilization extending from Egypt to Afghanistan, right from 600 to 1200 CE, and how it had exhibited multiple political and cultural patterns. The word Islam is surrendered to God. The one who surrendered himself is called a Muslim. In this map, we can see the rise of Islam in Arabia. You can see Mecca, Medina, and other places. There is a first of all, it emerged in Arabia. Later on, it spread to other West Asian countries. Now, who was the founder of Islam? You know, Muhammad Prophet was the founder of Islam, and during 612 to 32, he preached monotheism. What is monotheism? The word mono stands for single. Worship of a single God, that is Almighty Allah. The word ummat or ummah, it is as members of the single community of the believers known as ummah. This was the origin of Islam, and Muhammad Prophet was Arab by language and culture and a merchant by profession. And he was actually this culture was largely limited to the Arabian Peninsula, the areas of southern Syria and Mesopotamia. How we saw that Mesopotamia in the second chapter, we saw how the Arabs were. Now we are going to see about the how these Arabs were divided into kabilas. The word kabila stands for tribes. Each tribe had its own gods or goddesses who was worshipped as a idol. The word Sanam is idol in a shrine. They each tribe had its own god, and many tribes were nomadic. They were moved from place to place, and they were called Bedouins. And moved from dry areas to green areas, that is oases of the desert in search of food and fodder. When I say food in the sense the dates and fodder for their camels. And some of the Arabs, yeah, tribes settled in cities and practiced trade or agriculture. And Muhammad belonged to Quraishi tribe, and he lived in Mecca, controlled the main shrine, that is the Kaaba. It is called the Kaaba. It is a cube-like structure, and where the idols images were placed, and each tribe outside Mecca considered the Kaaba only very very holy, sacred, and they installed their own idols at this shrine, making annual pilgrimages. Every Muslim, one of the teachings of Islam is Hajj. Every Muslim has to perform Hajj to this shrine. And Mecca was located on the crossroads of trade route between Yemen and Syria, with further enhanced the city's importance. And it is called the sanctuary is called Haram Sharif. It is called Haram Sharif, where violence was forbidden and protection was given to all the visitors. Now we are going to see about the teachings of Islam. The first and foremost is Kalima. They used to tell, Muslims used to tell as Kalima, La ilaha illallah Muhammadur Rasulullah. That is, there is only one God, that is Allah. Or you can say that there is no God except Allah, and Prophet Muhammad was his messenger, and he was called Rasul, messenger. And daily prayers 5 times a day. Every Muslim has to offer 5 times prayer in a day, and it is called Fajr, Zuhr, Asr, Maghrib, and Isha. And observation of the fast during the month of Ramzan from dawn to dusk, and giving alms to the poor, yeah, zakat. And as I already told you, Hajj, pilgrimage to Mecca and Medina once in a lifetime. But when he preached monotheism, single God, the Almighty, Allah should only be worshipped, then there was severe opposition from the Meccan community, and he had to face severe opposition, and he was forced to migrate with his followers to Medina, and his journey from Mecca was a turning point in the history of Islam. With this, the year of arrival in Medina marking the beginning of the Muslim calendar. See, Muslims, they don't believe solar calendar; they follow Hijri calendar, and this is lunar calendar, and this lunar calendar consists of 354 days, 12 months, and each month consists of either 29 or 30 days, and the day begins at sunset, and each month with the sighting of the crescent moon, and this is lesser shorter than that of Gregorian calendar. Gregorian calendar is nothing but the solar calendar, and none of the Islamic religious festival, including Ramzan fast, that is called Eid ul Fitr, and the next one is Eid ul Zuha, that is Bakrid, yeah, Eid ul Zuha corresponded in any way to the season. Okay, then this is the picture which you can see the people performing Hajj, and as for any history, any empire, we need sources like that. For this sources of income for the Islamic community is zakat. It is nothing but alms tax, and Muslims organize express rates on Meccan caravans and nearby oases. Now, how Muhammad became very famous, yeah, reputation. He conquered many places. You can say that he was a religious preacher and political leader, spread his reputation spread far and wide. And he now insisted on conversion as the whole criterion for the membership of the Ummah community of believers. And the Arabs attached great value to the strength and solidarity. And his achievement, many tribes, mostly Bedouins, joined the community by converting to Islam. He was a religious preacher and political leader, and how began to spread until they embraced the whole of Arabia. The Kaaba was cleanest of idols, as the Muslims were required to face the shrine when they offer prayers. So you can say that he was able to unite large part of Arabia under a new faith that is called Ummah, and the polity. After Islamic or Muhammad Prophet, how the caliphs, the word caliph stands for religious and political leader, and he died in the year 632. 632, no one could legitimately claim to be the next prophet of Islam. And the innovations, but this created opportunity for the innovation, but also caused deep divisions among the Muslims. Caliphate, religious and political leader of the Islam, and after Muhammad, there were four caliphs who ruled from 632 to 661. That is Abu Bakr, Umar, Uthman, and Ali. And the last caliph, the fourth caliph, was son-in-law of Muhammad Prophet. The first caliph was Abu Bakr, suppressed the revolts by a series of campaigns, and the next caliph was Umar, and he followed the policy of expansion of power. And it could not be maintained out of the modest income derived from the trade and taxes. For that, he had to wage three successful campaigns, that is how they brought Syria, Iraq, Iran, and Egypt under the control of Medina. The two main points, you can see that military strategy of the Muslims, religious fervor, and the weakness of the opposition contributed to the success success of the Arabs. Then comes Uthman, who extended this one no control to Central Asia, and after the within the decade of death of Muhammad, the Arab Islamic State controlled the vast territory between Nile and the Oxus. Now, fourth caliph, as I already told you, Ali was the son-in-law of Muhammad Prophet. He established himself at Kufa and defeated an army led by Muhammad's wife, namely Aisha, in the Battle of Camel in the year 657. And the Muawiyah was a kinsman of Uthman and the governor of Syria. He was the first caliph of Umayyad dynasty. After these four caliphs, two dynasties came to power. One is Umayyad dynasty and the other one is Abbasid dynasty. And the second battle is Battle at Shipping, that is northern Mesopotamia, ended in a peace, truce, treaty, yeah, peace, with the split of his followers within two groups, one who supported, one who against the against Caliph Ali, and those who opposed, those who left the camp, and they were known as Hajjis. But he was assassinated by a Hajji in a mosque at Kufa. This is Islamic expansion. The green color shows Mecca, Medina, Yemen, and the whole of Arabia was expanded under the leadership of Muhammad Prophet. And this pink color shows there is a settled Islamic lands in 750. That you can say that Iraq, Iran, Khorasan, Palestine, Egypt, Libya, and all these places were under the control of Islam or Islamic administration. When it comes to Islamic administration, they imposed a new administrative structure held by governors. They were called amirs, and the chieftains of the Arabs, tribal people were known as Ashraf, and they had one treasury. The treasury was known as Bait al Mal, and they got their revenue from the taxes paid by the Muslim as well as the share of the booty from the rights. What is booty? Whatever the Victoria's powers got from the dividend power is known as the beauty, and there were payment of taxes. The non-Muslims had to pay taxes that those who lived in the control of the Islamic Empire. That the tax was known as jizya. The Jews and the Christians paid this tax. Now, two dynasties after the four caliphs. First dynasty is Umayyad, and the next dynasty is Abbasid revolution. Umayyad Caliph, as I already told you, Muawiyah, who moved his capital from actually Damascus. He moved his capital to Damascus and after to the court ceremonies and administrative administration of the Byzantine Empire. Byzantine Empire is the East Roman Empire and hereditary succession. See, after the death of a father or any caliph, this one that his eldest son or his son should inherit that post, that is known as hereditary succession, and he requested the leading Muslims to accept his son as his heir, HEIR, that is legal successor, and they ruled for about 90 years, and Abbasids for two centuries. Now they had was the imperial power no longer based on the directly Islam, but on the safeguard and the loyalty of the Syrian troops. They were Christian advisors in the administration, Zoroastrian scribes, the one who write, that is, scribes were bureaucrats, that is, administrators were also there. They retain Arab social identity, and very important one is Abdul Malik's coinage reform. That is very important, and he used this one. No, he adopted Arabic as the language of administration and the introduction of Islamic coinage. And Umayyad Caliph also made a highly visible contribution to the development of Islamic Arab Islamic identity by building the Dome of Rock in Jerusalem. This is the mosque in Jerusalem, and Abbasid Revolution took place in the year 750 CE. And these Abbasids, they were descendants of Abba, and they portrayed the Umayyad regime as an evil, bad, and promised the restoration of the original Islam of the Prophet. And this brought about not only the change of dynasty but also changes in the political structure and the culture of Islam. Now they had Jand. The word Jand stands for Arab soldiers were mostly from Iraq and they resented the dominance of Syria. So there was a conflict between the Arab soldiers and the Syrian soldiers. Battle of Zab. Actually, they, as I already told you, they were descendants of Abbas and Prophet Uncle mustered the support of the various dissident groups and legitimized their bid for power by promising their Messiah, a Mahdi, from the family of a prophet and would liberate them from the oppressive Umayyad regime. And there was an Iranian slave, and his name was Abu Muslim, who defeated the last Umayyad Caliph Marwan in the battle at the river Zab. During their rule, what happened? Arab influence declined, and the importance of Iranian culture increased. They established their capital at Baghdad, and the army and bureaucracy were reorganized on a non-tribal basis to ensure a greater participation by Arab and Khorasan. Khorasan, it is in Iran. They strengthened their religious status and functions of caliphate and patronized Islamic institutions and the scholars. This is the largest mosque in the world for centuries. This is a great mosque at Mutawakkil in Samra. This is the second Abbasid capital built in 850. How the caliphates broke, the institution itself broke, and that gave rise to the sultanates in, I mean, they came to India also, Delhi sultanates, and after Delhi sultanate, uh, Ghaznavis and Dukhlak dynasty, and after that the Mughals came. How that you can see in this video. A civil war broke out between the supporters of Amin and Mumin. Who were Amin and Mumin? They were the sons of Caliph Harun al-Rashid, which deepened the factionism and created a new power block of Turkish slave officers. That dynasty is a slave dynasty who ruled India. Even India, they invaded India and they came and competed with the uh, Sunni Orthodoxy for power. Jihad, the word jihad means religious war. The wars between Christians and the Muslims were known as crusades. They Al-Kitab, the word regards the people of the book Al-Kitab. They had their own scripture. The word scripture means holy book, the New Testament or Injil. The Christians were granted safeguard Aman, that is safeguarded, ventured into the Muslim state as merchants, pilgrims, ambassadors, and travelers. They included those who were held by the Byzantine Empire, the resist Roman Empire, notably the Holy Land of Palestine. Now, Jerusalem was conquered by the Arabs in 638, but it was ever present in the Christian imagination as the place of Jesus' crucifixion and resurrection. That's why even three religious people consider Jerusalem very, very important. Jews, Christians, and the Muslims. Now, causes of the Crusades, there was enmity between the towards the Muslim world became more pronounced in the 11th centuries, and these people converted into Christianity, who Normans, Hungarians, and Slavs, and Muslims alone remained the main enemy. That is the main reason. First crusade waged between 1098 to 99, and the soldiers from France and Italy captured Antioch in Syria and claimed Jerusalem. So Christians claimed Jerusalem, and when they captured, they treated the Muslims in a very bad manner. They slaughtered the Muslims, and not only Muslims but also the Jews in the city, chronicled by the Christian and the Muslims. Okay. And collectively, the territories, the Franks quickly established four crusader states in the region of Syria and Palestine. That is, these territories were known as Outremer. Then later crusades were directed at the defense and expansion. Now the second crusade, 1145 to 49. In this crusade, the Muslims were successful. Saladin, even though he captured, but he gave a good treatment to the Christians. Then the third crusade, 1189, and this city prompted the loss of the city prompted the third crusade in 1189 that gained little except for the some coastal towns in Palestine and free access to Jerusalem for Christian pilgrims. Now, what are the effects of the Crusades? The harsher attitude of the Muslim state towards the Christian subjects, which resulted from the bitter memories of the conflict, as well as the needs for security in the areas of mixed population. Italian mercantile communities, there is from mm, Pisa, Genova, Venice, in the trade between East and the West, even after the restoration of the Muslim power. So this is about caliphate, then how caliphate broke, then rise of the sultanate. Now we are going to see about the economic condition of the economy, especially agriculture, urbanization, and commerce. Main occupation was agriculture, and the landowners or estate owners collected taxes on behalf of the state. And during the Sassanians, they were Iranians as well as the Islamic period. Now, cities also grew during this period, and name of some of the cities, garrison cities also they had, and Misr, it is Arabic word for Egypt, and Kufa and Basra in Iraq, and Fustat in Cairo in Egypt. Economy, as I already told you, main thing जो है market exchanges increased the importance of money in Central Islamic lands. Coins of gold, silver, copper were minted and circulated, often in bags sealed by money changes to pay for goods and services. Nowadays, we use check for I mean in bank for transaction or other purposes. For that, check that word that comes from the that is the contribution of the Muslim to the world. Learning and culture, and the religious scholars were known as ulamas, and ilm, that is knowledge derived from the Quran. The model behavior of the Prophet was known as Sunnah. It was the only way to know the will of God and provide guidance in this world. Ibabat. What is the meaning of Ibabat? Ibabat is relationship of Muslims with God through rituals. Sharia. Sharia is nothing but body of Islamic law is known as Sharia, and there were four schools of law. One is Maliki, Hanafi, Shafi, and Hanbali. But the last Hanbali is more conservative. Qazi, the word Qazi is actually appointed by the state in each city or locality, often acted as the arbiter in the, or more or less you can say that the judge. This different from this one. A group of religious-minded people in medieval Islam were known as Sufis. The next one is pantheism, is the idea of oneness of God and His creation, which implies the human soul must be united with its maker. And even women poets were also saint, women saint. I am talking about saint Rabia of Basra, Bayazid of Bistami, and Sufi was the first to teach the importance of submerging the self in God. Fana. It is called immerse oneself into the thinking of God is known as Fana. And they used musical concert to induce ecstasy and simulate the emotions of love and passion. And they also contributed a lot in the field of science, medicine. Ibn Sina, a famous doctor by profession, philosopher, He did not believe in the resurrection of body on the day of judgment. But what Muslims believe in Qiyamah, that is the day of judgment. They believe that in the resurrection of the body in the day of judgment, that is called Qiyamah. But Ibn Sina, he was against this idea, and he wrote one book called Canon of Medicine, and which gives a million word manuscript that lists 760 drugs sold by the pharmacist of his day and include notes of on his own experiment conducted in the hospitals. But he was known as Avicenna in Europe. Language, main जो है language जो है for administration Arab language. Now Abu Nuwas, he was a Persian origin, broke new ground by composing classical poetry on new themes such as wine and love with the intention of celebrating pursuits forbidden by Islam, drinking of wine forbidden in Islam, and but he talked about all this in his poetry. He was a Persian. So you can conclude the lesson by saying that the history of Islamic lands brings together three important aspects of human civilization. The one is religion, that is Islam, and the community, that is Muslim people, Islamic people. Then the next one is politics. And the only way the circles of religion and community could have separated was through the progressive secularization of the Muslim society. Thank you.